Fighting has flared again in Sudan, although a UN envoy told the Security Council on Tuesday the truce between warring factions was holding in some parts so far. But he said there was no sign the two sides were ready for serious talks. The Sudanese army and paramilitary RSF had agreed to a 3-day ceasefire, giving aid workers a chance to help shaken residents.
Parts of Khartoum lie in ruins after 10 days of intense battles. The fighting calmed as a ceasefire took hold early on Tuesday. But fear still grips the
Sorry about that, we just lost our report. Let's go straight to our Sudanese journalist, Zozi Adam, who's following developments for us in Nairobi, Kenya. Sorry, I didn't get your name right there. Just bring us up to date on the ceasefire at the moment. Is it actually holding or not? Because we're getting reports time and again of sporadic fighting.
Yeah, well, in some parts of Khartoum, there is some kind of quietness. Yesterday, in 16th Street, in Arkawit, Riyadh, and Madani Street, on that area there, life is a little bit back to before the war. Cars are moving, and so there's transportation to Madani. But in that same time, there was some fight in Khartoum near the presidential palace, and in Omdurman and in Bahri as well. We have seen some of the markets in Omdurman open just because of necessity, and people need to get things. But the ceasefire is not completely holding. There was clashes in Al Jineina, in West Darfur yesterday, continued the whole day from morning all the way to the evening, and it took kind of some ethnic look. So the ceasefire is not effective.
And what's going to happen if there aren't any negotiations?
Well, the two parties, they really don't look like they want any negotiation. RSF made it very clear that they were assaulted first, and they would like to bring Burhan and the military to justice. The military this is a war for them, as a clear rebellion by the RSF, and they won't rest until they get humanity. So both parties are not willing to negotiate, not right now. While that just means they still have some more battles that they would like to engage in. We have also heard that SAF has been gathering forces south of Khartoum, around White Nile State, and from other states as well. And the next coming days, we might see some advancement from SAF in Khartoum. The rest of Sudan is quite safe and quiet. It's just now Khartoum, and therefore these are the the war field right now in Sudan. And I don't see any willingness of both parties to negotiate.
You say it's safe and quiet. From what I'm reading, though, those left behind, civilians are facing acute shortages of not just food and water, but also fuel and medicines.
Absolutely. That's in. Sudan wasn't really doing well even before this war, in terms of lack of basic needs. But right now it's even severe because of the war. You cannot find fuel in Khartoum as we speak. People are dying of thirst in Bahri. That's a fact. It's been like this for since the beginning. It's been, I think, more than 10 days in Bahri. There's no water, and there's no even basic needs that are not met. Hospitals are shut down. There is no aid. medical aid for those who needed it. And that's just in the war zone. That's in the war, in the cities that were torn by the war, which is Khartoum, Bahri, and Omdurman. But in other areas, like Madani, for example, thousands of people from Khartoum fled to Madani, and they are there, and they're kind of getting the care they need in Madani. But if you stay in Khartoum, it's just the situation is very dire. And also there is some health hazard right now because there's so many bodies piling on the street and without proper burial. That's one. It may start to rain soon, and it just like there's high risk of diseases that will follow that.
Thank you very much for bringing us up to date on the dire situation there. Asanusi Adam.
Thank you.